最后灭了吴国。这么多年来，给他们造玩具、鞋子，甚至他们的国旗，一边忍受他们的傲慢，一边等待时机。现在时机终于到了，让他们见识我们民族的伟大。
Good morning, good evening, and welcome to World of Warships. My name is Robin, and today we will be sailing both of the Pan-Asia Nation premium destroyers, the Tier 6 Anshan and the Tier 8 Loyang. But first of all, thank you very much for tuning in the video. I really appreciate it, and I wish that you will enjoy your time here. What do you think of the introduction I made, huh? I hope you liked it. But before we start, let's review the details of the ships we're about to sail in. The Tier 6 Anshan has 4 130mm guns with a top range of 11.9 kilometers, 16,500 points of health, 6 torpedoes with a top range of 8 kilometers and a top speed of almost 40 knots. Her anti-air defense system is rated 22. Her surface detection is 7 kilometers and the armor thickness goes from 13 to 16 millimeters. For the upgrades I've installed, we have main armament modification 1, main battery modification 2, damage control system modification 1 and propulsion module modification 2. For my commander, preventive maintenance, expert marksman, last stand, survivability expert, and basic firing training. The Loyang has 4 127mm guns with a top range of 11.6 kilometers, 17,400 points of health, 10 torpedoes with a top range of 6.7 kilometers and a top speed of 40 knots as well. Her anti-air defense system is rated 38. Her surface detection is 5.8 kilometers and the armor thickness goes from 16 to 19 millimeters. For the upgrades I've installed, we have main armament modification 1, aiming system modification 1, propulsion modules 1 and 2 and concealment system modification 1. For my commander, preventive maintenance, priority target, last stand, survivability expert, superintendent and basic firing training. These two destroyers, while sharing the same nation, have two very different playstyles. The Anshan is a reconditioned Gnevny class destroyer with a high main caliber gun, good speed and equipped with rather unconventional medium range torpedoes for a Soviet destroyer style. The Loyang is a reconditioned Benson class destroyer with one less main caliber gun than her counterpart, but equipped with a very efficient hydroacoustic search reaching 5.5 km range. But that is enough of these descriptions. We will start off with our first battle featuring the Anshan, so without further ado, let's take her to battle. And here we are on the map Trident Domination Mode. We have spawned on the northern part of the map, in front of Objective B, and having a possible direct course for the latest objective, I decided to try my luck and see if I can capture it. Lots of destroyers in this matchmaking, both for us and the enemy team. Considering that I have a pretty bad detection range, I am at a disadvantage, but I want to make up for it by being a bit aggressive. The Anshan is not a great ship in close quarter engagements though. The turret traverse is painful, even with commander skills and upgrades, but when your guns are locked, the damage is very good. You have to try to keep your distances and outgun your opponents while remaining relatively safe. This applies to all Soviet-like destroyers, but at low tiers it is difficult to actually do. So, to sum it up, the Anshan is a good middle line between a torpedo and a gunboat. It is not excellent in each domains, but can hold its own in both situations, torpedo attacks or gunfights. Back to battle now. I managed to get inside Objective B without being spotted, which is good. I won't be able to hold my position for long, but at least I have a chance of capping. I am in the front lines though, so I decide to lay down my smoke here and engage enemy ships in the vicinity. I target the Kirov for a couple of salvos, but realize that 2 enemy destroyers are heading towards my position. Our friendly bombers are spotting them up, and I immediately switch my attentions to them. Enemy Podvoisky is closing in. I'm not really afraid of a torpedo strike towards my smoke, at least for now, since I have friendly airplanes in the air. But the enemy Podvoisky does not seem to care about that, and is still steaming full speed towards me. Enemy torpedoes are spotted. I will have to move out pretty soon to avoid them, but I'm trying to make the most out of my precious smoke. An enemy Nicholas and a Kirov are setting up near me, and I will most likely become their target as soon as I'm spotted. But for now, I have to deal with the Podvoisky. He's getting dangerously close, and this situation is as bad for him as it is for me. I am gunning him down pretty efficiently, and by the lack of responsive fire, I believe the Soviet destroyer is trying to get behind my friendly smoke and evade. I launched my torpedoes, and already the Kirov and Nicholas have started to capture B back. A couple of salvos to deny the zone. I managed to kill the enemy Podvoisky with my torpedo salvo, but I have a bigger problem on my hands. I did not pay attention to my minimap and find myself in front of an enemy Gaide that was capturing Area C. She have me fully ambushed, and by the time I try to turn my guns, she already have a couple of salvos on me. I'm completely overextended, and the Gaide is not the only ship looking at me. I try to return fire, but the German destroyer decides to smoke up. I cannot see the gate anymore, and I have to flee under loads of fire. And yes, no surprises here, I am being focused down by every ship in the area. My health is already in the red, and I'm desperately trying to evade. I finally drop detection. I'm trying to get back to my friendlies and disappear, but the Gaide have some other plans in mind. She wants to finish me off. Legitimate decision, since I'm very hurt from the previous engagements. She gets out of her smoke to chase me down, and even if I try to speed boost, she's inside my detection range. No other choices here, I have to engage again and hope that my friendlies will support. I'm kind of spamming the SOS key here. I really need my allies to help me on that one, and even if I'm trying my best to dodge incoming fire, the Gaide is still after me. My responsive fire is landing, but she leaves me no choices here. I have to smoke up. Only 2000 HP, a good cruiser salvo from a distance could finish me off, but I want to use this smoke only as a decoy. I know the Gaide will still be spotted, and that gives me a little bit of breathing room to try and survive this. And fortunately, this engagement is slowly turning in my favor. I've traded my overextension with her, and I finally have some allies supporting my poor decisions. My relentless fire finally pays off, and with the help of teammates, I managed to take out the German destroyer before she can land the coup de grace on me. I'm alive! Somehow. That's what I get for trying to be aggressive, but we've taken out 2 enemy destroyers so far, and I'm very happy about it. Although I am not away from danger. 2 enemy cruisers, the De Grasse and Émile Bertin, are in the area and are potentially aiming at me. I engage the Émile. At this range, his shell velocity allows me to sail relatively safely, and I can reconceal using the island. Émile is turning back though. He's about to run into the bulk of our forces, but I decide to deny his progression with torpedoes. He could very well try to finish me off by picking this island, and I'm trying to delay that moment. The De Grasse in the distance is also interested in me, but I try not to keep a straight course. It's kinda funny how, when you are low HP in a destroyer, you start playing cautiously and actually sail the ship like it is supposed to be sailed. Destroyer captain should sail the ship imagining that they cannot take a single hit. At least I should try to think that way, to maybe improve on the way I fight my battles with destroyers. Our torpedoes are looking good on the French cruiser, and we manage to finish him off. Whew, close one, but now here I am, almost at the edge of the map, away from the action and, more importantly, away from the objectives. Our team does have an advantage in ship numbers, but the enemies have captured all objectives. I need to make my way back down south and see if I can manage to support my team here, even though I am almost sunk with 800 HP only. And here comes a long journey. I am just going to speed it up for you until we meet with some more action. On my way back towards B, the enemy Nicholas was spotted. I preemptively launched my torpedoes, but I'm about to run into him anyway. I immediately cut the engine and smoke up. I cannot win a gunfight against the American destroyer. Nicholas notices me, but a bit too late, and he missed his shots fortunately. I, on the other hand, can now hit him pretty hard from the safety of my smoke. Friendly Aoba is supporting right next to me, and the Nicholas is in the bad spot. I've knocked out his engine and we managed to secure the kill. And that's it. All enemy destroyers have been taken out. That is very good news for me, since I can now decide to remain stealthy or not, depending on the situation. No time to sit inside my smoke though. We still need to secure some caps, and since the Aoba is heading for B, as well as our friendly Fubuki, I decide to head for C instead. Although, by looking at the minimap, something caught my attention. Enemy Fuso and enemy De Grasse are flanking east, both. Even though they are not posing a huge threat to us yet, only a friendly Königsberg is on their way. I decide to leave the cap alone and try to ambush at least one of them. Considering their actual course, I could possibly hide behind the island in front and set up for a torpedo strike. Although the De Grasse is a huge threat for me. One salvo and I'm out, so I cannot allow myself to be detected. I could take my chances and try to gun down the French cruiser by surprise, but revealing myself would also expose me to the Fuso, and that would seal my fate pretty fast. So silence it is, and that is one of the advantages of the Anshan. I've been a gunboat basically since the beginning of the match. Now is the time to use my torpedoes more efficiently. But the De Grasse is a very fast and unstable ship. A quick change of course and my torpedo volley are thrown off. I have to take a route first if I want to ambush the Fuso afterward. My only hope is that the De Grasse will stay focused on fighting our friendly Königsberg and keep her course past the island. If she does that, and if I'm lucky, she will meet with my torpedoes, and considering her health, one should be enough. So, torpedoes in the water, let's hope for the best. The Fuso took out our Königsberg, so the French cruiser is undetected. AP is loaded. I'm ready to get a close quarter engagement with the De Grasse. I could still be lucky and hit her in the citadel, but please hit the torps, please hit the torps, please hit the torps, and yes, our torpedoes are on point, and the De Grasse is out of the fight. Close one. We achieved our Kraken unleashed, and now for the Fuso. This will be a victory for sure. Our team managed to regain control of all objectives, and it's only a matter of time before this battle is over. The Japanese battleship, on the other hand, is coming back around. That is actually perfect, since I can set up right here and wait for him to come closer. My torpedoes are almost reloaded, it's just a matter of patience now, so come to me, little Fuso, come to me. Torpedoes in the water soon again, but this time I can be assured that some will hit. Fall forward, I intend on surviving until the end. The Fuso is completely unaware of my position and I'm getting the hell out of dodge. Although the angle is quite narrow, the Fuso will still be hit by the entirety of my torpedoes, and we are going to take him out in a devastating strike, ending the battle and securing a victory. 97,000 points of damage dealt, 6,700 XP earned, and 500,000 credits gained. We've achieved a devastating strike and a Kraken unleashed, and most of all, we survived. The initial engagements were in my defavor, but I got lucky. I managed to escape and came back sneaking around. Funny ride with the Anshan. I think it showcased both sides of this ship, the artillery and torpedoes potential, and even if we did not dealt a tremendous amount of damage, we still pulled our weight by capping and securing 6 kills afterward. But stay with me a little longer. We will now step up our game by climbing up 2 tiers and showcasing our battle with the Lo Yang. I hope that you're having fun so far, and if you are, let's move on to the next one right now. And here we are again. Same map, but different ship and different mode. We are in a standard battle, and this is a lucky tier 6 matchmaking. It's a bit refreshing. I'm used to play against tier 10 when sailing a tier 8 ship, but this battle is going to be fun regardless of the tier. I'm playing with my friend, Tom. He's a newcomer in our family and quite the player, to be honest. He's sailing the tier 8 aircraft carrier Shokaku, and without exaggerating, Tom is by far one of the best CV players I've met. And guess what? He also has a YouTube channel where he posts some of his best games. I will put the link in the descriptions, go check it out if you're interested. But back to battle. If you've paid attention to the introduction and description of the ships, you might have noticed that I'm not using the long-range torpedoes on my Lo Yang. I am actually using the second option available, the 6.7 kilometer range set. And if you ask me why, well, I have a pretty straight answer. I cannot stand the long-range torpedoes. I'm not really used to the American destroyer playstyle. I haven't really played the Benson and moved very fast towards the Fletcher and gearing. The Lo Yang basically has the same torpedoes as her American counterparts, and I just couldn't hit anything with those. And when I did, well, the damage was either too low or almost non-existent against higher tier targets. So I stepped up my risk and reward game, and where else to experiment it better than in a tier 6 matchmaking. With that said, we do have some action going on there. We spawned on the northern part of the map again, and I've made my way towards the center of the map. I noticed some smoke being laid down in front, and I creeped up close to use my hydroacoustic. Enemy Kagero was right there, and we are now flushing her out of the smoke she laid down because of Tom's airplanes, most likely. Tom is actually keeping her spotted and was also detecting incoming torpedoes for me. I've chewed a big chunk out of the Japanese destroyer's health, and I almost put her out of commission, but Tom was losing too much airplanes and had to give up the spotting. It's okay, that Kagero will not be back anytime soon. And that early in the game, I am noticing a potential target for my exotic torpedoes. Enemy New Mexico is pushing hard through the east flank and is presenting a perfect course for an ambush. Torpedoes in the water then. I am keeping the enemy Nagato under fire. She's burning rather nicely from Tom's bombers. Why not try to help taking her out? I'm thinking about moving out of my smoke. My hydroacoustic died and I'm vulnerable to a torpedo strike on my position. Well, talking about torpedoes, my set is already on the New Mexico. Too late to evade, we take him out in a devastating strike. Time to get out though. An enemy Tirpitz and a North Carolina are a bit too close for my liking, and my smoke is about to dissipate anyway. I have to go look for another target I can efficiently fight. In this game mode, the Lo Yang is not really effective. I've managed to scare off an enemy destroyer and take out a battleship, but I'm not supporting my teammates the way I should. Lo Yang is known to be an excellent cap contester, The mix between very good concealment, hydroacoustic and potent torpedoes makes it a very good tool for this job. But by the lack of objectives, in this mode at least, I'm left with no real goal except trying to damage the enemy team the best I can. The enemy Benson is spotted near. He is creeping up on the east flank and could be a threat for our battleships. I decide to engage. I'm relatively safe from other enemy ships thanks to the island to my right, and I can isolate myself to fight the American destroyer 1v1. My goal is to force him to smoke up, because if he stays revealed, he's exposing himself to my friendly's fire, and that is exactly what the Benson is about to do. Now that he laid down his smoke, I have a relatively good advantage. I'm waiting for my hydroacoustic to rearm, and I'm preparing myself to creep up on the enemy destroyer again. Tom's airplanes are back in the air, and I have a pretty good cover thanks to him. I've laid down my own smoke in order to bait enemy torpedoes. I want to lure the Benson into a false sense of security, but I won't stay here very long. Multiple enemy ships are in the area. I do not want to risk being detected in front of such firepower, but Tom's airplane are going to spot an old friend of mine, the enemy Kagero. She's back and my smoke bait is working rather nicely. Again, thanks to Tom, I can see enemy torpedoes already and I can plan my move accordingly without being surprised. But it is time for me to attack. Hydroacoustic is up and running, torpedoes are in the water, and I'm making my way towards enemy smoke. And look who's here! Both enemy destroyers are sitting still and I can just shoot them with impunity. Kagero is taken out. I switch to the enemy Benson immediately after, but the American destroyer, by flooring the engine forward, is going to run into my torpedoes. Double strike, and that is 2 enemy destroyers down. Although no times to cheer. Enemy Nürnberg has a lockdown on me, and I did not include that in my plans. I'm trying to reach for the islands and find cover, but the German cruiser's rate of fire is implacable, and I will take some damage for sure. On top of that, I've aggressively used my repair consumable, and the enemy Mayoko in the distance hits me and lights up 2 fires on me. I am going to burn for a bit, but I should be able to live. I got greedy for these 2 previous destroyers and I got punished for it. I'm safe from harm though, at least for now. I have the island to protect me, but I'm the only ship that far down south, and that could mean trouble. Although all enemy destroyers have been taken out, which is a good thing. No more surprises for me, and since Tom's airplane are still around, I will have a bearing on enemy ships in the area. The fires are repaired. I still have decent health for another engagement, but I won't be able to go anywhere. Enemy Nürnberg is on the hunt for me and is using a hydroacoustic. No hiding for me. The only direct threat would be an airstrike, but the enemy CV does not seem to be interested in this side of the map. I can take a bit of a break and assess the situation. Our team is in the lead, quite comfortably. We have an advantage in points and ship number, but we're not totally safe from a defeat. Most of our force haven't left our base, so at least we know it is impregnable, but by being bunched up like that, we face the risk of being flanked from both sides. I'm the first line of defense against the enemy push on this flank, but I know my guardian angel Tom is not going to let me down. The enemy Nagato is also in range. She's trying to assist her friendly cruisers, but I've lit a fire on her that she immediately repaired. My smoke is ready and Nürnberg's hydroacoustic died, so I can lay it down and slowly pick the island to get a better shot. And the luck is about to be insane. My tiny 127 are going to set 3 successive fires on the Japanese battleship, sealing her fate in a matter of seconds. I still have an immediate threat from the 2 enemy cruisers about to pick the island, but my torpedoes are ready. Enemy Galissonière is pushing full speed, but Nürnberg knows the threat she's facing and is a bit more shy on rushing my position. Torpedoes in the water, I'm saving my second set as a backup while I keep harassing the Nagato, even though the fires are doing a better job. That is going to be it for the Japanese battleship, and I switch my guns to the French cruiser. AP is loaded, but my torpedoes are on target and it's too late for the Galissonière. 2 torpedoes connect, enough to take the cruiser out in a devastating strike. And on top of it, a second double strike, a Confederate, and a Kraken unleashed. That was pretty funny. Everything went really smooth and we managed to defend our grounds. Enemy Nürnberg is in a duel with our Hipper and took her out with torpedoes. Considering this, I know she is out of torpedoes on a port side, which is quite interesting. I can't really know her intention, but she is playing rather safely. Although she is exposing herself to Tom's airplanes. I was not paying attention to the minimap and did not realize I just had to sit in my smoke and wait for Tom to handle the situation. I decided to floor the engine and rush the German cruiser with AP still loaded. We take her out and kind of steal the kill from Tom. Sorry mate, you know me and my greed. From this moment and going, the battle is pretty secured. Only 3 enemy ships remains and there is no way they will come back from this. So I am going to let the battle roll until the end and come back to you for the scoreboards. I'll see you in a bit. And there we go, the victory is secured. 150,000 points of damage dealt, 5,000 XP earned and 700,000 credits gained. We've achieved 3 devastating strikes, Confederate, 2 double strikes and a Kraken unleashed in what was an unexpected and hilarious ride with the Lo Yang. Somehow we managed to put our torpedoes to good use and supported our flank, taking out 6 ships in the process. We've made the most out of our hydroacoustic search to flush enemy destroyers, all the while being supported by Tom and his airplanes, and in the end it paid off very well. Well people, that is it for this video. Thank you very much for watching it until the end. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did and you're a kind heart, give it a like. And stay tuned, there is more content to come about World of Warships. And I am sorry I've been away these last couple of weeks. I did not have enough spare time to edit videos, and unfortunately I will have to reduce the rate at which I upload them from now on. But I will still be around. So, until next time, you have a good one, and you take it easy.